Hopefully, by the time we get halfway through to the second round, I'll learn to read. Already, Eric Olson owes me royalty money or something. But Mark Mellinger, Channel 15, and Mark, you will direct that to Paula Hughes. Thank you.
Yeah, Paula, let's talk about the North River property, the old OmniSource property between Clinton and Harrison Streets. Twofold question. I'm wondering, first of all, do you think the city should buy that property? And secondly, whether you think the city should or not, what would you as mayor work to see that property become?
Well, first and foremost, I would say no, I do not think the city should buy that property. We have begun developments in downtown, and we started them at the southern end of downtown, just north of the railroad tracks. The money this committee has put into Harrison Square, Parkview Field, we need to leverage that. We need to grow downtown contiguously from that area. I think jumping across the river and starting something new in the North River area doesn't make sense for us. It's going to be stretching our resources, and we can't afford to do that. They are too scarce. So grow from where we are in downtown, and long term, maybe, but long term, I'm thinking 15, 20 years from now. We also don't know for certain what the environmental hazards are on that property, and I don't want the city to be trapped in liability with that. What I would do for it long term, I think that it has a lot of potential for mixed use, and by mixed use, I mean doing a facility that maybe has entertainment, ties into the river, has residential, has restaurants. But those are dreams right now. That's not going to be sustained by the markets. We don't have any business getting involved in that.
Thank you very much. And now with 1 minute responses, again, we go alphabetically. So we start with Liz Brown. Liz, your 1 minute response, please.
No, absolutely. The city shouldn't buy it, but what we can do is facilitate it so a private partnership can buy it. We actually do have the environmental studies on it now. That is not the reason why it hasn't been purchased. Originally, they were asking a lot of money for it. But what we need to do is we need to make it ready to be purchased so a private entity can develop it. Right now, we have so many restrictions on buying land, on zoning, on getting permitting through, on getting development plans through, that it would be discouraging and daunting for anyone within this community to do that, because they have gone through that before and they know exactly how troublesome it is. So even though that is a prime piece of real estate, and Fort Wayne should be bending over backwards, getting everything ready, making sure our processes are streamlined so that the developers who are out there who would like to look at that project, who have looked at it in the past, will do that. But we are not going to have that happen unless we change the way we do business here in the city. It is much too cumbersome right now, much too expensive, takes too long, too much red tape.
Thank you. With this 1 minute comment, Eric Doden.
Well, I think anything that should happen with those kinds of properties should be driven by the private sector. But one of my plans would be, and this encompasses the use of the light lease funds, is to have $100 million in new projects across our city. Because one of the things that we have to do is create an environment where young people, particularly our 20 and 30-year-olds, want to come and live. And when I talk to people across the city, this is an issue that we have, and attracting and retaining talent is imperative to have a culture of innovation and entrepreneurship. Now, to do that, we know that the banks will give us $70 million. What I know from my private equity experience is that private equity will not do $30 million. The risk is too high, the reward is too low. But if we were to lend $15 million alongside the bank, then we can make a return on investment, we can spur development because we'll get $15 million of private investment, and they will drive that whole thing and make sure that it's successful because they're the ones that understand how to do these types of things. And that's an idea of the proper thing. You can read more about that on my plan and ask me more later if you have further questions.
Thank you, sir. And with this 1 minute comment, Fred Osheskie. Mr. Osheskie.
I don't believe that the city should be getting involved with any kind of real estate. All that does is lead to conflicts of interest. We had enough of that with the Henry administration, and to get involved with more projects like that is detrimental to the city. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. With this 1 minute comment, Terrence Walker.
Well, I think, unfortunately, we missed the vote. Because it was a nice building there, it needed a lot of work. Basically, I was told the truck depot because for the railroad industry, but really trucks came out there, and it used to be there for the circus when it came to town. I thought it'd be nice to make it into somewhat of a museum and make it into a restaurant on top of the world. But now that it's gone, I don't think we should touch it at all. The ground is poisoned. Let's not mess with it.